Hey folks, this is Kalani. Patch 10.2.6 is finally here, with more content than most players were expecting. There's a new huge event, which is actually an entirely new game mode separate from the rest of the game. Plunderstorm takes you on a pirate adventure to secure loot and earn rewards in quick battle royale style matches. There's also some new big achievements that you might want to work on, a whole bunch of new mounts, and we have a lot more information about Season 4. So we're going to go through everything to do in patch 10.2.6 and what you should do first to avoid missing some time-limited rewards. Now before we jump in, be sure to hit up that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. The first thing most players are going to want to do is check out the new time-limited event in 10.2.6, Plunderstorm. There are a lot of rewards to pick up, the gameplay is completely different, and you don't have to have any characters or progress to jump in. It's totally separated from the standard game and it even has its own servers. To get into the Plunderstorm game mode, you need to have Retail WoW or Dragonflight downloaded, so be sure you're launching the right version of WoW on your BNet launcher. I believe you do also need an active subscription, so if you have been away for a while, you're going to need to pick that up as well. On your character screen, you should see Plunderstorm as an option at the top left of the screen. Just click on that and you'll be sent over to the Plunderstorm starting page. From here you can read the basic rules, check your next set of rewards, form a group or jump straight into a match. You also have the option to customize your pirate so you can be any playable race that you want in WoW, and you can also play as solo or invite a friend to queue as a duo. It's important to note that solo and duo queues are completely separate, so solo only plays against solo and duo only plays against duo, just to make sure everything stays fair. The game starts in a quick get-ready lobby mode where you can test abilities, get the hang of movement, talk to a few NPCs, change your key bindings, mess with settings, but when the timer ends you'll be fired off into the sky to start a match. You start in the air like many Battle Royale style games, so pick a spot to land and zoom down. You're only going to have a small action bar to keep track of. Your basic attack is a little cleave, so it's more action oriented rather than the standard tab target combat of WoW. You're also going to start with a heal, which you'll want to make good use of to stay healthy in between your skirmishes. Then you have 5 more slots. The first 2 are for damage abilities, the next 2 are utility, and then the last one is an item pickup. There are 10 different damaging abilities and 10 different utility abilities you can get in the game. Each one has up to 4 ranks, so the higher the rank, the better the ability. To upgrade an ability, you can collect the same ability multiple times, or you can just find the higher rank ability from mobs or chests. You can get new abilities from killing mobs and elites, opening chests, or killing players. Whenever a player dies, they're going to drop all of the abilities they have, so you can get some good stuff if you can take out other players. Be sure to read each ability and how it works, because some of them are targeted, some of them are AoEs, some of them are skill shots, and some of them have special effects like charging or combos, so you really need to read each one to see what they do and how they work. I'll give you a link to a Wowhead post with all 20 abilities so you don't have to try and read them in the heat of the moment. Now items are a little different because they are a one-time use, so they can be very useful in a pinch, but you're going to need to be smart about when and where you decide to use them. They drop in the same way abilities do, but you cannot upgrade them. I'll have another Wowhead link for the list of items for you to read through as well. Now you can also gain experience and level up, which you're definitely going to want to do. Almost every activity is going to grant experience and the max level is currently 10. The higher level, the more damage and health you're going to have, so leveling up is very important and will give you the best chances of coming out on top in any PvP battles you manage to get yourself into. We usually start off by farming some mobs to get some quick levels in, as well as some abilities, and then keep an eye out for blue or purple chests, because those higher rank abilities can really carry you to victory. The other major gameplay element is the storm. As the match progresses, the storm covers more of the map, pushing players towards each other. You can check the progress of the storm by opening your map, so make sure you're staying ahead of it. Unsurprisingly, the storm will kill you if you venture into it, so make sure you keep an eye on it. It's worth noting that it doesn't kill you immediately, you can actually spend a little bit of time in there, but just don't stay too long. So the gameplay loop is quite simple. Level up, grab some shiny abilities, upgrade them where you can, kill NPCs and players, make sure you stay out of the storm, and try to be the last one standing. That's pretty much how the new game mode works. But what about rewards, I hear you say? What do you get for participating in this new Battle Royale event? Well, there is a whole new renown or reputation track for Kegleg's crew, which had 40 levels of rewards that include transmog, pets, mounts, titles, and even traders' tender currency. The big one that most folks will be after are the Polyroger Parrot mount at 39 renown, the Glamrock pet at 30 renown, and the Plunderlord transmog set, which you can earn between renown 22 and 38. All of these look fantastic, but there are plenty of other rewards in between to pick up as well. So most of the rewards are going to come from the renown track. So how do we earn renown? Quite simply, just by playing the game. You're going to get renown or reputation at the end of each match you do, depending on how long you survive, and if you don't survive for very long. The best way I have found to ensure you get at least a good chunk of rep every game is to look out for the world quest that pops up shortly after a match starts. They're called world quests, but they just track like a normal quest. Just look at the bottom right of your screen and you should see a quest there with some objectives. They're going to ask you to collect plunder, kill creatures, loot chests, all kinds of things. From what I've experienced, if you finish this quest, you should get at least minimum 300 rep in your match, even if you die right afterwards. So focus on that quest first if your goal is to maximize rep gains. Now, the most reputation we've gotten in a single match was when we got first place with nearly 800 rep in that round. But as long as you finish that quest and are actually playing the game, you should get quite a lot of rep per round and you can play as often as you want. I have seen some folks try to AFK their way to some rep gains, but it does look like you get 0 renown if you're AFK, so keep that in mind. Perhaps the most important part about all of these rewards though is that Plunderstorm is a time-limited event. I'm not sure if it's been stated explicitly, but the current assumption is that the event might only last for 6 weeks. Hopefully it ends up sticking around a lot longer than that, but that does mean there is a time limit for securing all of these shiny rewards, so get out there and grab some plunder. There is more than just Plunderstorm in the 10.2.6 update though. We have various new meta achievements for completing activities across the Dragon Isles and the zones of Dragonflight. There's one new achievement for each major faction and zone, so one for the Dragonscale Expedition, one for the Maruk Centaur, the Iskara Tuskar, the Valdraken Accord, and the Time Walkers. Then there's also another meta achievement for the Dragon Isles as a whole called Across the Isles. Every single one of these meta achievements is going to reward you with a new mount, so if you are a completionist or a collector, these achievements should be right up your alley. Complete the storylines and activities for each faction and get some shiny new rewards. Then there's also an expansion-wide meta achievement called A World Awoken. This one covers pretty much the entire expansion's worth of content, as you might expect, from completing the raids and dungeons, working through the story quests, various reputation milestones, taking part in dragon races, and of course completing those previously mentioned new meta achievements. This one is going to reward you with Tyvan as a mount, so even more new mounts for you to chase after. Now, if you've gotten everything you want from Plunderstorm and you've worked through the new achievements, or maybe you're just not that interested in them, you can also start preparing for Season 4. We're not too sure when Season 4 will start up. The dev team said it will be in several weeks, which is pretty vague, but that means we still have a little bit to wait at the very least. It could be after Plunderstorm finishes, who knows. We do know that Season 4 should be enabled for testing on the PTR sometime soon, so we'll get a much closer look at what will be changing in the new season. We do know we'll be revisiting all 3 Dragonflight raids with scaled up difficulties and loot, and the dungeon rotation for Mythic Plus will be the 8 original Dragonflight dungeons. So if you want to get a little bit of prep work in for the new season, you can re-familiarize yourself with the raids and dungeons, the bosses and mechanics, and take a look at the loot to see which pieces you might want to pick up, assuming everything is on an even playing field. We also know that both Dragonflight legendary items, so the Evoker Fist weapon from Sarkareth in Aberrus and then the axe from Farak in Amirdrasil, will not only be usable in Season 4, but they will in fact stay relevant. You'll be able to procure an upgrade item to bring those legendary item levels up to Season 4 levels, at least that's what it looks like from the current data mining. So for anyone who can use either of those legendaries, they will most likely still be your best in slot items for the rest of Dragonflight. The important part here is the upgrade item. That's going to be part of Season 4 by the looks of things, so we will have to wait to get our hands on that, but you can get, or at least start working towards, both of these legendaries right now in 10.2.6. All you have to do is keep killing Sarkareth and Aberus or Farak until you get the drop, then you're all ready for that upgrade come Season 4. So you want to get your legendary now to save some time and effort in Season 4, so you can go straight to upgrading it. But that's everything you can do in patch 10.2.6 of Dragonflight and what we would recommend you work on first. What do you think of the Plunderstorm event from what you've seen so far? Do you think the dev team should try these kinds of events more often, or should they stick to tried and true content like new dungeons and raids? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to all of our members who are on YouTube. You can see the names floating by on screen. If you'd like to add your name to the end of every video with a special shout out at the start of the next video, you can find links in the description over to Patreon and click the join button just below this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I'll see you next time.